Baby, the things I did, I know they weren't right. But I know I can change. You don't have to. I have to go, darling. I can't live like this anymore. No. Please. Just come back to me, please. Before you get too far. There's no hope for us anymore. Everything changed. No. Yes. No. Yes. Welcome to a tutorial about what? You guessed it, about foreshortening. About this stuff. See this guy right here? See what I'm saying? Looking right at it? Why, yes. Yes, you are. You've seen pictures like these, almost certainly, where the hand is larger than the face. Or maybe it's versa vice, and the face is large, but the hand is tiny. Well, what's going on here? What is the happenstance is called foreshortening. You are shortening the distance between the visual perspective of the foreground and the background and the way back. I'm just saying words. You know what I'm describing. Stuff close to the camera looking big. Now, what is this even? Or more importantly, how does it happen? When you have lenses that look at things, they do stuff. They distort things. They can make everything look flat with a lens that is super zoomed in and super far away. Look, the hand is as big as the head. It's like if you're looking with a telescope, or if you have a fisheye lens and you're really close to something. Well, look at that. Suddenly, the hand is giant and the head is small. Magic. Wide angle lens. Telescope lens. Done. Case closed. Moving on. Some examples? Why, yes, you may have some. Look, I went and dug this up. I made this thing long ago. But what you're looking at here is somebody's head, somebody's shoulders, their waist, and then their feet. Now, we know that feet are not this big compared to heads. However, I didn't draw them in their normal size because we got some perspective going on. We got some foreshortening. The head is all foreshortened. Not in the middle there, but right at the beginning. Look at that. He's a foreshortened man. Just because. I'll explain how and why later. What else? The sounds carried incredibly far in the jungle. Look at this shot. Look at this freaking shot. The foot is now larger than the head. Vastly. You could fit like 3 head heights in this foot. Why? Because the foot is close to the camera. That's why. That's all there is to it. And this is very well done because all of these grass blades point towards the theoretical vanishing point way out there. What else? Well, later, when he's on the ground, this is great. The hand gets bigger than the head. Look at that. You see that? Excellent job here by Supernova. These foreshortened shots. That's got a spicy flavor. They just got on them. Look at it though. this head is now farther away. The arm is not even it's not like the body is. Even though we know the arm is shaped like the body, as in proportionate. However, it is kind of turned into, well, a pointed thingy. And there you have it. Another shot. Doesn't have to just be bodies. Beowulf here, bringing it home. Look at that spear. Okay, we know that the spearhead is, well, it's tiny compared to him. However, look at it. Huge. I mean, just massive. Awesome shot. Love this shot. I mean, just cinematic gold. Otherall, let's get to it. Oh, wait, I was actually a little preamble there. Tutorial time. Now, I know you can't see my cursor, but it is there, so please forgive me if I point to things exclusively with my cursor or my fingers. And here we go. You want to draw somebody's something bigger than something else. How do I do this? I don't know where to start. What do I even? Okay. You can make yourself references. When anybody starts a sentence with this tone, you can do this or you can do that. They're clearly not gonna tell you to do those things. They're just a lead up to what you're actually gonna do. So why even talk about them? Don't do this. There, that's how I should say it. You can do this, but don't. Make yourself a box for the things that you want to draw in perspective, and then so truly draw them, like as if this was a hand, and then this was a thumb. It's that tone you get, like, everything I'm saying doesn't matter right now, and you know it because of the way I'm talking, and screw you, this is a waste of your time. Well, it is 12:18 at night where I live, and look, there's a thumb, and then you would go in and draw it, and then, oh my gosh, I don't want to draw these fingers. There. And there you have it. That's how big your hand is, and then you know that when your hand is sprawled out like that, it's just a tiny bit shorter than the size of a head. So if you put a box on these same lines, and then you draw your head in that box, you know it's gonna be in proper perspective. The spective will be props obsolete, because then you can just put it here, and it's good. And then you go in and delete these lines. Split the difference, and then draw the arm there. Oh. So I'm gonna say don't. Here's my idea. Here's my super pro easy foreshortening tip. Keep things in proportion. Couldn't think of it. Bam. Slam. Come on. And clams? Clams? No. Look at this. I have an awesome command. Ready? No, that's not it. Here we go. That's it. It automatically takes text and makes it into broken apart shapes in a movie clip. All preambled and pre-brambled. There we are. So, keep your stuff in proportion. You know things. You are a smart person. First of all, you probably know how to... that was a... Jeez. That's like a font. That's like a capital C in a legitimate font. Oh, I messed it up, but look at the original. Oh my god, I just drew the Comic Sans lowercase c. So you know how things work, because you're a smart person and you're creatively inclined. So you know what people look like. I'm willing to bet if you're watching this video, you got your heads there, and then you have your torsos, your shoulder. Oops. Ooh. Some lovely neck action. And you get it. And you know how big heads are. And you know how big hands are. So this is an arm. Whatever, this isn't an anatomy tutorial. But the critical stuff is that you know how big this is. And if you moved it over here, how big it would be. So like, hold on. Hold your horses. Folks and ladies, this is a group. Break that up so we're not in the group anymore. Hands are this big. Right there. Oh, a hand. Okay. So you also know if you draw a box this big, that a box half that size, or one, if you divided it in half twice and then took one of the quarters, it would be this big. You just know it. You just gotta. Or at least you gotta be able to get close. After a certain point, you just start picking up on it, and you can do it instinctively. Like, even if you're a mile away and it's all really small, you can still make the same thing. The thing with the thing. Perfect. And the point being is you can do it all second nature and get really, really close. So, hear me out. And I know it sounds scary, because here comes Article 2. Just wing it. There you go. Right there. What do I mean when I say this? What does Bepler with a groggy voice mean when he tells you this thing? I don't know, but I can try and decode it. Here is his head. And there it is there, with the eyes and the nose, and then the mouth place. Yeah. Jaw going on. Okay. Oh, I can't select it. Say you wanted to have a big thumbs up in the foreground, because he's just so happy. Well, don't draw any boxes, just draw it. Bam. That thumb got a little fat in the midsection there. Perfect. It's a thumbs up. And it's done. Okay? This is it. Now, this is where the winging it part happens. You just make this whatever size you want and maintain your proportions. So if you were having him thumbs up at the ceiling, ready, then you just draw his feet. Okay? I'm trying to come up with a way to say this. Oh boy, silent Bepler time. Rum bum ba-da rum ba-dum ba-da na-na-na-na. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do. Okay? This is... Listen, you'll take more time when you're doing yours, but this is for example's sake. So you just take a rough guess that a finger length is like a chin to nose, or it's like a chin to nose and a half. So finger length would be like that much. So you take one of these, copy that thing up, and you won't do this every time because you'll get the groove of it, but then you would say, okay, out here at hand depth, as in camera, bam, hand depth, head depth, foot depth, you will say one finger length is this long. So at face depth or head depth, one finger length is now this long. Okay. So I actually think I had it right when I drew them little like that. See, go with your gut, because you're going to be right. Ready? See the difference between here and here? I do, Andrew, I do. That is from here to here. So the distance from here to here has to be proportionate to the next size down. So like, while this got cut in thirds essentially, no, like, it's more like 2/7. Cause then there's all this. That's the 1/14 right there for you. So you just say it went down by that much. The next leap has to be a bigger one because it's a lot longer. So you will make it like that is one finger length at, that might be even too long. There, that's a finger length at the next level. And feet are about 2.5 finger lengths long in real life. So, bam. It's like magic. I guess I was right when I redid it. So there you have it. Just what? No, I'm serious. There you have what, Andrew? Well, you have your idea. You have your freaking, your pro tip is maintain proportions, right? If you change something by some amount, just keep changing it by that amount. Good golly. So if you want to know how to draw a mountain back here, well, you say a person height at this level is this big. So at that big, it has to be super, super tiny. And so mountain, because at thumb level, a person height is like this big. So then you scale it. You don't have to draw boxes though. You just do it all in your head. There. So, oh my god, this isn't a tutorial. No, it is. It isn't. I'm lying to you. Say you wanted to draw something, a person on the ground. Make their head first. Make the thing first, always too. Especially when you're animating. Almost certainly. I can't draw circles. Andrew Bepler, not drawing circles since 2014. You need to animate the close-up thing first. So, like, draw the head first. And then, after that, start to draw your shoulders. And then your arms. Why is this arm pointy? Because the wrist is further from the camera than the shoulder. And then your, rest of body. And you can work your way down as you go along to make a nice... Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and imagine how big the knee is supposed to be. How thick is a thigh when the distance the thigh is from the camera is almost twice that of the head. So here's camera lens right here. Head depth, knee depth is twice as far. So a knee this close is about this big. Ready? Y'all ready for this? Brum, 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 brum. Wowzers. There you go. You know, actually, that's friggin' perfect. This is beautiful. Practice. I think all over the place tutorial, right here, right now. You need to be able to do something. You need to be able to do this as an animator or an artist. Interpolate where half is. If you know how far it is from here to here, you just gotta know it's right there. And then it's there. And there. And there. And that. And that. And that. Bam. You have to... You gotta know how to do this by hand. Not just for drawing, foreshortening. For everything. Look at. Ready? You just gotta know. You gotta cut it in half every time. Because it's so common and it's so useful and it's gonna speed you up. So when you're here trying to understand how big a tree is supposed to look, you're not confused or anything, and you're not drawing perspective lines every time, because a head here becomes a head here becomes a head here. Practice that. Practice doing this. Ready? Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, all that stuff. I didn't even do it right in that example, but practice that. Otherwise, you won't know what the heck to draw. And then here's his other leg, and he's got it on the thing, the knee, that part of a people, and he's doing the foot thing. Geez, drawing feet is hard. Before you ever do this, learn how to draw people in regular perspective, like facing front. Anatomical pose, I believe it's called. And then there you are. What did I even tell you? Proportions. You got your arm up here, looking at all the aeroplanes. Groggy Bepler. I'll change the name of this. Groggy Bepler, with the subheadline, late night tutorials that you can barely sit through. And then that'll be the channel trailer right there. Awesome. Sawsome. Yeah, I'm not saying I get it, but I think I've gotten better at it, and I don't think the way to do drawings like this is by making yourself guides. It takes too long. So just guess and get it wrong and learn from the times that you get it wrong. Yeah, how do you draw feet? How do you draw someone's feet when they're like that? Well, you just keep it in proportions. You put a foot here, foot's this big. I know how big an ankle is on a foot. Just so start it there. Bam. And then, it has to get pretty small pretty fast to fit the whole body in. And then, I know that if a foot is this long here and a foot is about this long here, then if a foot is about as long as a head, if I keep this up, knowing how tall generally a person is at the rate that it's getting smaller, then the head is going to be like that big. I couldn't even say words that time. It's going to be that big based off what angle I made the leg here. If I instead had drawn the leg more like that, then the head would be bigger and it would be more up, because there would need to be room for the now larger torso. The way I had it, in fact, maybe even a bit smaller, I would think. There you go. Yeah. Look at those big fingers. Like Twinkies. You could just eat them up. Foreshortening. Here's that other foot. This man. What has he got to prove? What does he have to prove? Yeah! Flash! Animation! I'm running out of voice. I think I'm losing my voice. He's taking on the world. This December. Dun-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. The newest Dark Knight. Ben Affleck, everybody. Yeah! Dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm the Dark Knight. Da-da-dum. Da-da-da-da-dum. Dark Knight. Dark Knight. Walking Dead Zombies, Dark Knight. I can't hit the F key. It was supposed to be nighttime. Bam. Oh no. Well, thanks for watching. What did you just watch? I don't know. Here's a few things you need to know as an animator. You need to know like 3 things and you'll get it. You'll be good. Proportionate changes, like either squares like this, as in this is half of this, so this one would look like that. Bam. I keep wanting to do, which is the next one. Here, these are like scaled, like I'm squared. Right there. You gotta know logarithmic scaling, which is exponential, which is like this. See that? See these changes? It's like this one, but all stretched out. And then you gotta know the waving motion. You gotta know how to do this. Even sometimes without onion skin. If you haven't watched the waving motion tutorial, boy, is there a tutorial out there for you. I'll probably not link it in the description of this one because I might forget, as there is a lot of time between now and when I'm writing the description for this video. No, I will put it in. I will, so that you can easily click on it if you haven't watched it, so you can learn how to do the thing that I'm doing right now. And then you gotta know how to not resize, because that is what'll just make your life horrible. Resizing is the worst. Ugh. You guys, have a nice day or night. Don't be afraid to just wing it. Just wing it. Just keep everything in proportion. Okay? Like the way that I've demonstrated. Draw yourself your close-up thing first, and then draw the faraways. And if you want to animate it, if you want to live that risky life of being a foreshortened animator, like Supernova or Beowulf animator team, you know, do it first. Do it smooth. Do it groove. Look at foreshortening goodness. Tiny feet. Medium-sized belt buckle. Tiny hand. Big hand. FlashBepler. Ja-dum, 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 ja.